You know what drives me nuts? Truck drivers that lie a lot. Now, in the past, I used to see them across country. You sit in the TV lounge and they tell these stories or whatever that don't make sense. Like I heard one time, someone was mad with their dispatch and drove their truck into the building, and he still had a license and not in prison or whatever. So, anyways, this guy who started at the same time as I did in the roll off part, he would tell us, me and this other guy, we go on like this conference call all day, and he would tell us things like his girlfriend massaged his feet every day, and how she always cooks him like these extravagant meals, just on the wall things. So one time he said something about she borrowed his pickup truck and she washed and vacuumed it. Just weird things. We start calling him out on it, and he's like, no, 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 no. Well, he ends up starts putting her on the phone with us, and all four of us are talking. So then we start asking her questions, completely debunking him. How embarrassing. So, one time, I don't even know how this started, but we were talking about drinking, and he tried to tell me that he goes to a bar and orders a whole glass of Jack Daniels and drinks it. And so this perked my interest, and I go, well, how much do you pay for this glass? He's like, $10. So I'm doing the math, and I'm going to assume that I'm going to be generous. We'll say a 16-ounce glass. So you figure a shot would be, $5 for an ounce? That doesn't seem economically wise. Not to mention, I don't think it'd be wise for a bar to give alcohol like that in large quantities, because they'd be liable for a lawsuit if you got in an accident and killed somebody. So called him on that, and where's this bar at? And he tells us, it's like, there's no way. Well, our company banquet, his girlfriend's there, and we question her about it, and she makes this face like, oh my god. And we knew right there, yeah, he lied, of course. So, how do you believe anything comes out of his mouth? Now, I got fisted. I was going to dump in the roll-off box, and it's supposed to have a liner in the box. And I go dump it, and there was no liner in the box. And it took me an hour and a half to dump that box. And when I got on the phone with the inner circle, I'm going to call it the circle, I was complaining about it. And he says, I was like, I don't know who had the box last, but they screwed me. And he tells me that he was the last one who had contact with that box. So when you tell me something, it sounds like you delivered it. So he says that he was told to pull the tarp off, look in the box, and see if there's a roll of the liner in the box. And then he said he delivered it. So, think about this for a minute. You take an object, you throw in the box, and you go deliver said box. To me, that's telling me you're delivering a load. And what happens? What's in the box comes out. Now there's no more liner, which doesn't even make a bit of sense because he's supposed to line the box. So I'm losing my mind. I actually got a little verbal with him. And then later it turned into, he picked it up from the switch yard and took it empty to the factory to be loaded. And so we got in a little argument. And he said he's not an idiot, which he is. He is. The next day rolls by. He throws another coworker under the bus. Said he's the one that told him. Said, check to make sure there's a liner in there. If there's a liner in there, and you're good. The rolled up, not strung across the floor. Now, given his previous history of lying, how do I know he's telling the truth or not? I don't know. So, me liking him has dropped quite a bit. Now, see, yesterday was the final straw. So, we're on the phone, the circle, there's 4 of us, him included. We're talking. And he makes a reference that he's been a diesel mechanic most of his life. And that was it. I've concluded I just don't like him now. So, I retort, really? Do you know how to do a tune-up on a Detroit motor? Do you know how to do a tune-up on an 855 Cummins? Do you know how to tune up on an M14 Cummins? Can you do a tune-up on a Caterpillar? Dead silence on his end. And then the other guy, he goes, how many spark plugs are in a D16 or something? And he sat there and thought for a minute. Spoiler alert, diesel engines do not have spark plugs. So I got on his case. And I said, you shouldn't be lying, because I went to a mechanic school, and the other guy in the circle, he was a mechanic for 4 years. So he immediately got defensive, and it's like, well, what school would you go to? Blah, 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 like I'm lying. Yeah, so they're right there. I've lost complete, total respect for him. It's almost like a military guy, stolen valor for military. That's how I feel right now. He claimed he was a mechanic and he's not. That's how I feel. So I have completely lost all respect for this dude. In fact, I didn't talk to him at all today. Well, so my question is, why do these people have to be this way? I don't get it. I don't understand. First I thought, well, maybe it's for him to fit in, but even that don't make sense, because that story right there doesn't even make any logic. He's a compulsive liar. And he's going to be alone, because this girl is going to figure it out at some point that he's a compulsive liar. I don't even want to talk to him about work, because how do I know what comes out of his mouth is real? Total loss of respect. Well, that's not good in this business. You lose respect with other drivers. No one's going to help you or whatever. I don't even know if I want to help them ever. That's all. That's all disrespect that I am right now. Even the fact that if he was mechanically inclined, I don't see him reading a shop manual on an engine to even get the specifications to do a tune-up. So, and, to do a tune-up, depending on the motor, you gotta use feeler gauges. You gotta undo the rocker on the cams and adjust the valves. the cam, and all that, and they have to be within a certain specification. And this guy, there's no way. I don't even know if this guy can read. I'm being honest with you. It's embarrassing. I don't know how many other truck drivers are out there like this, but he's 28 years old, and he's fairly new in this profession, and I guess he's going to learn the hard way. So, folks, when you get in this profession, be yourself. Don't lie. Don't tell stories. Don't try to be someone you're not. We don't like it at all. Anyways, have a good day.